Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we're going to be taking a look at a pretty tragic story. This is one that really I can't even wrap my head around why you would do something like this. Now, the article is going to suggest he was angry over a Fortnite loss, as you can see by the title of the video here, but I think we can all agree that no matter how mad you get over losing a game of Fortnite, that it doesn't just magically make you capable of pulling something like this off. There has to be a very deep-seated, deep-rooted layer of mental illness, psychopathy even, to even consider doing this, right? So this is all taking place in France, and apparently this guy got mad over a Fortnite loss, just went stalking the streets, and decided to kill somebody's 11-year-old daughter over, apparently it was like an attempted robbery here. Very weird chain of events, like you lose a video game and you're like, okay, I gotta go rob somebody's daughter in the street, right? So a 23-year-old unemployed Frenchman said he murdered an 11-year-old girl earlier this month because he was in a rage over losing a game of Fortnite, according to media reports in France. A man identified as Owen L. told police he was angry over losing at the popular video game and had a fight with another gamer before leaving to go outside and walk around to release his frustration. In France, the surnames of suspects are not divulged by police. Police found the body of Louis Lassalle, 11, in the town of Épinay-sur-Orge, I believe is how you say that, located in Essonne, about 16 miles south of France on February 8th. So I guess he lost a game of Fortnite, and I don't know how, but he started talking to somebody else, and I guess they got in a little bit of an argument. I'm sure many of you know how that goes. There was probably some trash talk that took place. Maybe he was playing duos or something, and he fucked up. Dude probably called him shit or something, and next thing you know, I guess he was so angry over what took place that he decided to walk around town until he found an 11-year-old girl to take all of his anger and frustration out on. Really takes a very tough, awesome, big, brawlic man, right, to hunt the streets down to find an 11-year-old defenseless girl to violate and kill, right? That's real tough. That's some real big masculine energy right there, bro. So, quote, while playing Fortnite, he had an altercation online with another player who insulted him, prosecutor Gregor Dulin said, according to French media. Quote, very angry, he stopped playing and went out to calm down. The suspect said he planned to, quote, rob or extort money from someone to calm down, but, quote, accidentally crossed paths with Louise, quote, whom he did not know, according to Dolan. Quote, he spotted her mobile while she was carrying on a cord around her neck and decided to follow her, Dolan said. So this already doesn't make any sense, because to claim that he accidentally crossed paths with her is just completely bullshit. I mean, the guy literally chose to go walking around town to vent his frustration by robbing somebody of their money, which I don't even understand that. Like, once again, you have to just be fucking mentally disturbed, just like brain ruined for that to be it. Normal people, right, you get a little mad, right? I get being mad over a video game. I think everyone watching this video understands getting mad over losing in a video game, over being shit-talked, probably by some cuck on the internet who you don't know, right? Like, I get the frustration there, but to say, oh, well then I just walked outside to rob somebody and I accidentally crossed paths with this 11-year-old girl, like, nah, man, you knew exactly what the fuck you were doing. Anyone with a brain can tell exactly what was happening here. This guy was walking around looking for a target, and he probably saw mostly like men, adult men walking around, people he deemed could probably defend themselves if he went up and tried to fuck with them, right? And so, of course, given the fact that they could defend themselves from him, he probably ignored a lot of those guys, right? But then he sees this 11-year-old girl who obviously is alone. She probably can't really defend herself unless she's the fucking Karate Kid, or just magically pulls out a fucking Glock with a switch or something, right? Like, and then he decides, oh, okay, this is an easy enough target for me. Let me go ahead and follow that, right? So I'm not buying this whole, oh, it was just an accidental path crossing thing, right? That just doesn't sound realistic whatsoever. And honestly, when your idea of letting off your anger, like letting off some steam, is just, well, let's go around and fucking harass people, rob people, right? It really doesn't matter to me whether or not this was an accident. I really don't know how they do things over in France, but this is one of those stories where I think that you gotta give them the death penalty, man. If the French are anything like they used to be, this guy needs the fucking guillotine, right? Because there's literally no excuse, there's no rationale, there's nothing you could say that would justify doing something like this. The suspect apparently lured the girl into the woods by telling her he'd lost something. Quote, when they'd reached a quiet spot, he told her he was going to search her things to steal money while threatening her with a knife. The prosecutor said she started screaming, panicked, he pushed her to the ground and stabbed her. LaSalle's phone was found beside her body. There was no evidence of any sexual assault, Doolin said. The prosecutor's office said male DNA was found on the child's hands. The suspect had tried to get another girl to go in the woods with him, but she refused, France's TF1 reported. TF1 said the suspect had reportedly told his girlfriend he'd, quote, done something serious and had gotten rid of the murder weapon, bleached his clothes, and threw them in the garbage. So, once again, I accidentally crossed paths with this girl, he claims, as the story confirms he literally tried to lure another girl into the woods. Now, like I said, it takes a real tough, fucking strong man who is really comfortable with himself to lure children into the woods and hold them at knife point to rob them. I mean, what kind of fucking person, right? I don't have any respect for anybody who, robs people or fucking, harms innocent people in society anyway, but the fact that you couldn't do this to, a man or somebody who could protect themselves, it makes it even more just vicious and vile and disgusting, right? I can't even imagine what this poor girl's family is going through, imagining what happened here, right? Knowing that they will never see their daughter again, they'll never see the person that they brought into the world again, all because some fucking loser decided to stalk around town with a knife to try and rob people, because some random chud on the internet got him in his feelings. That's the craziest part here. This guy was so uncomfortable in his own mind, right? Was so insecure, was just so easy to set off, that some random fucking guy on the internet, calling him shit at Fortnite, made him brutally murder somebody's child over money, right? It's like, hey buddy, have you ever heard of getting a fucking job? Maybe then you wouldn't have to rob people's daughters and stab them to death in the woods. I mean, how does this even come to mind for you, right? Most people, when they lose in the video game, they just do this magical thing, right? This is a crazy concept. You're losing in the game, you're not having fun anymore, so you press this thing called the power button, and it shuts off your computer or your PlayStation or whatever, right? And then you go read a book, or you go watch TV, or you go for a jog, you know what I mean? It really isn't that hard to just deal with it. It's a fucking video game. There's no excuse, once again, that could justify doing this, but the fact that out of all fucking video games that was able to work him up to this point, it was literally Fortnite, a game designed for children primarily. How embarrassing is that, man? Not only are you a huge fucking loser for what you did, but you did it for the weakest, saddest reason possible. I mean, imagine when the other prisoners hear about this, right? Because in prison, they usually find out what you did, right? Even if it takes because this is an international story. This happened in France and I'm reading about it here in the USA. So usually one prisoner hears from the grapevine, oh, the dude in your block, yeah, he killed a little girl over Fortnite after robbing them. Now, once these prisoners find out what this guy was up to, man, I can only assume it's gonna get real bad for him in jail. He's gonna be in there actually fighting for his life. You thought Fortnite was bad, buddy? You're getting boxed up by some kid who's calling you dog shit, and that's enough to have you out here acting this way? Imagine what's gonna happen when Big Philippe or Big Jean fucking catches you over there in the meal house or whatever, right? They got your ass, buddy. It's over. Because people who harm children or do vile acts against children, they typically are not treated very well in prison whatsoever. And honestly, for very good reason. Someone who is capable of doing something like this and even goes through with doing something like this, they gotta be treated like second-class citizens, man. They gotta be treated like fucking wild animals or something, bro. And then also, the article suggests that, he went home, he told his girlfriend he did something serious. It's just crazy to me that somebody who has a life enough to have, a girlfriend and a place to be, to throw it all away for something like this, I mean, just absolutely mind-blowing to me. And then, of course, when a crime like this happens, it doesn't just affect, one person, like the girl who lost her life. Now the entire family is affected forever, and the little girl's friends who, they no longer have their friend because she was murdered. This affects so many people. It's shit like this that really holds society back in so many different different ways. All for such a selfish and fucking stupid reason, man. So the article also says there was some more information that I think is pretty newsworthy here regarding all of this. The 24-year-old girlfriend has been charged with not reporting the crime, and the suspect lived with his parents and had a rap sheet with a history of petty crimes. His older sister reportedly filed a police complaint against him in April of 2023, accusing him of being violent and aggressive. So I don't necessarily know how the girlfriend got charged with a crime because the article is a little, vague in the wording here. Now, obviously, he apparently told her he did something serious, but from the way that it sounds, he didn't like confess to murder, you know? And now it says he like got rid of the murder weapon. I don't know if he told her like, yeah, I got rid of the weapon I did it with or whatever. I would assume that just from the fact that she was arrested and charged, she must have been told something that she should be able to like, know that she has to report it to the police, but it doesn't really like let you know particularly what it was that got her charged. But ultimately the police found it worthy, I guess, to arrest her for this, for not reporting the crime, which, I mean, if she knew even vaguely what happened and didn't report it, yeah, she absolutely deserves to be arrested too. But of course, shocker, the suspect had a history of petty crime. So this wasn't just some golden boy, some college grad who had never done anything wrong, never had as much as even a speeding ticket, right? This was somebody with a rap sheet with like a long list of criminal activity. And a lot of the time when it comes to psychos like this who are capable of murdering your daughter in a robbery over a Fortnite loss, right? They are actually like career criminals that just constantly violate the law and hold the rest of society back. It's pretty typical that that's how that goes. So also no surprise here that even his own family had reported the guy before for being violent and aggressive. Who would have thought? Who would have thought the guy capable of losing in Fortnite, getting shit talked on the internet, and then murdering a middle schooler in a robbery, who would have thought that that guy maybe had some violent tendencies before, right? So just a sad, terrible story, and it's one of those ones I'm certain that a lot of people are going to read it and they're going to be like, oh, look at what the video games did. The video games made this guy kill somebody's daughter. This video game is just too violent. It's ruining our society, right? Obviously, we all know the video game had nothing to do with this. There's, like I said, children. There's 3-year-old kids that are currently playing Fortnite as we speak. And mysteriously, nobody else is going around murdering people, hurting people over fucking Fortnite losses, right? So it has nothing to do with the game or like, oh, well, the loss in Fortnite is what sent him over the edge. No. This was a former criminal, basically a career criminal, the way it sounds, who had been even reported by his own family members to authorities for being a violent sociopath and a piece of shit, right? So it's just an insane story. I figured, fuck it, let's go ahead and talk about it. So with that being said, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like. Subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel. Follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at SubToOptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus. Well, talking about this just ridiculously tragic story and signing out.